You have been spending hard-earned money on chemical sprays and plastic bottles when the ultimate gardening toolkit is already sitting right inside your household cupboards. Right now, in your kitchen or medicine cabinet, there are simple, everyday items that can rescue a dying plant, obliterate pests, and double your harvest. The multi-billion-dollar commercial garden industry thrives on a massive secret. Nature provided the answers long before corporations started bottling them. They do not want you to know that the pocket change hiding in your couch cushions can outperform the $20 chemical cocktails lining the big-box retail shelves. Whether you are tending to a few beloved potted herbs on a sunny apartment balcony, managing a vibrant backyard kitchen garden, or overseeing acres of open farmland, you are about to discover how to unlock professional-grade results using pure, affordable home remedies. Let us stop throwing money away and start working with nature. Before we dive into our first household remedy, take a quick moment to hit that subscribe button. Every single week, we bring you practical, no-nonsense, and completely natural solutions to help your crops thrive without draining your wallet. Our mission is to make gardening accessible, sustainable, and highly rewarding for everyone. While you are clicking subscribe, do me a huge favor and drop your location down in the comments below. Let us know your city, village, state, or country, and tell us if you are growing in a small container setup, a raised backyard bed, or sprawling farm fields. We tailor our upcoming guides based directly on where our community is watching from, so do not skip this. Let us map out exactly where our global community is growing together. Let us start with a brilliant solution hiding right inside your medicine cabinet. That modest brown bottle of standard 3% hydrogen peroxide. It costs next to nothing at your local drugstore, yet it serves as one of the most powerful organic interventions a grower can possess. To truly understand its magic, look closely at its chemical blueprint. Regular water is He2O, but hydrogen peroxide is O2. It contains 2 hydrogen atoms and 2 extra special oxygen atoms. That single extra oxygen atom changes absolutely everything. The moment this liquid touches organic matter, it releases that volatile oxygen atom in a sudden, energetic burst of oxidation. It acts like a heat-seeking missile against harmful cell membranes, bursting the cell walls of destructive pathogens on contact. Once it finishes its hard work, it breaks down entirely into nothing but pure water and fresh oxygen gas. It leaves absolutely zero toxic residue, zero chemical buildup in your soil, and zero runoff to worry about. This reaction makes it an unparalleled weapon against the silent killer of plants: root rot. Root rot creeps up silently beneath the soil when overwatering or poor drainage creates suffocating, anaerobic conditions. When oxygen gets pushed out of the dirt, aggressive fungi like Phytophthora, Pythium, and Fusarium take over, eating away at the roots until they turn into a foul-smelling, smushy, brown mess. The plant above ground begins yellowing, wilting, and drooping, looking desperately thirsty even when sitting in soaking, wet mud. Whether you are growing delicate indoor tropicals or managing commercial rows of field crops, you can use a diluted hydrogen peroxide drench to fix this. For a routine soil health drench to oxygenate compacted dirt, mix 4 tablespoons of standard 3% hydrogen peroxide into 1 liter of clean water. Apply this directly to the root zone when the top layer of soil has dried out slightly. If you are dealing with a severe advance of root rot, where a plant is on the brink of death, you need an aggressive rescue protocol. Gently slide the plant completely out of its pot or dig it carefully from the ground. Gently rinse the packed dirt away to fully expose the root system. Healthy roots should look firm, white, or cream-colored, but rot will look dark brown, gray, and feel terribly mushy. Grab a pair of sharp pruning shears, wipe the blades down with undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide to completely sanitize them, and boldly snip away every single piece of dark, mushy tissue. Do not leave a single bit behind, or the infection will keep spreading like wildfire. Next, prepare a specialized root bath by mixing 1 part 3% hydrogen peroxide with 3 parts clean water. Submerge the remaining healthy roots entirely into this solution for 5 to 10 minutes. You will hear a satisfying, active fizzing sound as the intense oxidation vaporizes any lingering microscopic pathogens. Once the soak is complete, Gently pat the roots dry and replant them into fresh, highly porous, well-draining soil. Never reuse the old, infected dirt. When you perform the first watering in the new home, use the mild maintenance mixture of 4 tablespoons per liter to give those recovering roots a massive blast of fresh oxygen. Fungal diseases like powdery mildew, black spot, and early blight can devastate a garden in a matter of days. When you notice that ghostly white powder coating your zucchini leaves or ugly dark spots creeping up your tomato stems, your instinct might be to race to the garden store for a chemical spray. Those corporate products cost a fortune, carry warning labels that look terrifying, and often fail after a few days, forcing you to buy more. It is a brilliant business model for them, but a terrible deal for you. This works just as well in your kitchen garden as it does in the field, and the ingredients are sitting right in your pantry. To completely halt an active fungal or bacterial outbreak on your leaves, you can harness the powerful contact action of hydrogen peroxide as a foliar spray. For an active infection, mix 8 to 12 tablespoons of 3% hydrogen peroxide into 1 gallon of water. Because this is a strict contact treatment, coverage is everything. Fungal spores love to hide on the undersides of leaves, shielded from the harsh ultraviolet rays of the sun. You must use a high-quality pump sprayer to thoroughly mist every single surface. The leaf tops, the damp undersides, the stems, and the central crowns. Spray your affected plants for 3 consecutive days. To ensure the pathogens cannot build up a resistance or stage a comeback, you must rotate this with a classic kitchen remedy, the baking soda and dish soap solution. Baking soda drastically shifts the pH level on the leaf surface, creating a highly alkaline environment that makes it impossible for fungal spores to germinate or survive. To mix this at home, combine 1 tablespoon of ordinary baking soda with 1 teaspoon of mild, non-detergent liquid dish soap into 1 gallon of clean water. The soap acts as a crucial surfactant, breaking the surface tension of the water so the mixture spreads smoothly and sticks tightly to the leaves instead of rolling right off. Alternatively, you can utilize plain white vinegar for acid-loving plants, mixing 2 tablespoons of vinegar per gallon of water to create an acidic shield against microbes. Apply these sprays during the early morning hours before the sun rises high, or late in the afternoon when the heat has broke. Never spray during the blazing heat of a sunny midday. The concentrated droplets can act like tiny magnifying glasses, focusing the intense sunlight and causing severe thermal burns on your delicate leaves. Nothing breaks a grower's heart faster than watching an army of sap-sucking pests destroy healthy green foliage. Tiny black fungus gnats hovering over your potting mix, clusters of aphids clustering on new growth, and invisible spider mites spinning delicate webs are a nightmare for households and farmers alike. Sticky traps only catch the adults, leaving thousands of destructive larvae hiding beneath the soil surface to gorge themselves on your plant's tender root hairs. To wipe out a heavy subterranean infestation of fungus gnat larvae, turn back to your 3% hydrogen peroxide. Let the top inch of your soil dry out completely, which forces the hungry larvae to move up close to the surface in search of moisture. Next, drench the soil thoroughly with a mixture of 1 part hydrogen peroxide to 4 parts water. The moment the liquid hits the soil, it will bubble and fizz intensely as it meets organic matter. This sudden burst of oxidation instantly ruptures the soft bodies of the larvae, halting their life cycle. Repeat this drenching process once every 5 to 7 days for 3 weeks, until the adult generation completely vanishes. For above-ground pests like aphids, thrips, and whiteflies, you can create a highly potent, chemical-free insecticide using organic neem oil and pure liquid dish soap. This remedy is incredibly effective, whether you are treating a few balcony pots or protecting acres of field crops. Neem oil contains natural compounds that completely disrupt the hormonal systems of insects, switching off their desire to feed, grow, and lay eggs. To mix a highly effective batch, take 1 gallon of warm water and stir in 1 tablespoon of pure, cold-pressed neem oil, along with 1 teaspoon of liquid dish soap. The soap is absolutely essential here, because oil and water do not mix naturally. The soap emulsifies the oil, ensuring it distributes evenly throughout the water. Pour this aromatic mixture into your sprayer and thoroughly coat the pest-ridden plants, paying extra close attention to the sheltered undersides of the leaves where bugs love to gather. For a large-scale agricultural application, small to medium-scale farmers can scale this exact ratio up to cover entire fields, providing a highly cost-effective, non-toxic alternative to expensive commercial pesticides. Have you ever looked out the window after a violent summer thunderstorm and noticed how incredibly vibrant, upright, and deep green your plants look? It is not just because they received a good drink of water. A gentle garden hose simply cannot replicate what a real downpour accomplishes. During a dramatic storm, tearing lightning bolts rip through the atmosphere, generating ozone and natural peroxides that bind with falling raindrops. This means natural rainwater is packed with dissolved oxygen and trace amounts of hydrogen peroxide. Plants evolved over millions of years to thrive on this oxygen-rich rainfall. You can replicate this beautiful natural phenomenon right at home. When soil sits in containers or heavy clay-based garden beds over time, it naturally compacts, pressing out all the tiny air pockets that roots need to breathe. In low oxygen, compacted soil, roots become sluggish, inefficient, and struggle to pull in vital nutrients, causing your plants to hit a growth plateau. By adding a tiny bit of hydrogen peroxide to your regular watering routine, you can simulate a natural thunderstorm. Mix 4 tablespoons of 3% hydrogen peroxide into 1 liter of water and use it to water your garden. As this mixture moves through the dirt, it releases a steady stream of pure oxygen directly into the root zone. This instantly stimulates root respiration, making the root system highly active and exceptionally efficient at absorbing food. This simple trick costs less than a cup of coffee, but it will instantly wake up tired plants, causing them to explode with new, healthy green growth. Waiting weeks for rare or expensive seeds to sprout can be a deeply frustrating experience. You plant them carefully, keep the soil damp, and wait, only to find they have rotted beneath the dirt. This failure often happens because of invisible mold spores and bacteria hitching a ride on the outside of the seed coat, which quickly outcompete the tiny plant embryo in the warm, damp soil. Furthermore, many seeds possess incredibly tough, woody outer shells designed to keep them dormant for years until conditions are perfect. You don't need expensive germination boosters. Your kitchen already has the answer. You can completely transform your germination success rate by using a simple pre-planting soak. Mix 1½ teaspoons of 3% hydrogen peroxide into 1 cup of clean water. Drop your seeds directly into this solution and let them soak for exactly 30 minutes. This brief soak performs 2 crucial tasks simultaneously. First, the rapid oxidation completely sterilizes the surface of the seed, wiping out any hidden pathogens without causing any harm to the protected embryo inside. Second, the solution gently softens the stubborn outer seed coat, allowing moisture and oxygen to penetrate the interior much faster. After 30 minutes, remove the seeds and plant them directly into your seed starting mix. You will see difficult, old, or thick-coated seeds crack open and sprout days, sometimes even weeks, faster than untreated ones. One of the biggest mistakes made by home gardeners and farmers alike is failing to sanitize their equipment. Your garden tools, seed trays, and plastic pots are major vectors for spreading disease. If you use pruning shears to cut back a rosebush covered in black spot, or a tomato plant suffering from blight, and then move directly to a healthy plant without cleaning your blades, you are actively injecting pathogens into the healthy tissue. Similarly, if you take a plastic pot where a plant died of root rot, rinse it quickly with a garden hose, and refill it with fresh soil, the dormant fungal spores stuck to the plastic walls will immediately attack the new plant. While many people turn to household bleach to clean their gear, bleach is highly corrosive to metal tools, shortens their lifespan, and leaves behind toxic chlorine residues that can harm sensitive root systems. Hydrogen peroxide is a far superior, non-toxic alternative. To clean your pruning shears, pocket knives, and saw blades, simply wipe them down with a cloth soaked in undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide between cuts. For dirty plastic pots, seed flats, and terracotta containers, spray them thoroughly with a solution made of equal parts, 3% hydrogen peroxide and clean water. Let the bubbling mixture sit on the surfaces for 10 full minutes to completely dissolve any hidden fungal membranes. Then give them a quick rinse with clean water. If you manage a greenhouse, walk through with a pump sprayer filled with 1 cup of peroxide per gallon of water to sanitize your benches, shelves, and walls before the busy spring season begins. Buying fresh bags of commercial potting soil every single spring is an expensive habit that drains your wallet. Many households throw away perfectly good soil from last year's containers out of fear that it might carry pests or diseases. The commercial nursery industry loves this because it keeps you coming back to buy more heavy bags year after year. However, you can easily save your money and safely recycle last year's soil using a thorough disinfection technique. Old potting mix can host dormant insect eggs, harmful nematodes, and destructive fungal spores just waiting to strike. To make this soil completely safe for a new generation of plants, spread it out on a tarp or keep it in a large bucket. Mix 1 cup of 3% hydrogen peroxide into 1 gallon of water and drench the soil completely, ensuring the liquid saturates the entire volume of dirt. The powerful oxidation will travel through the soil, instantly destroying pathogens and pest eggs on contact. Once the drenching is complete, let the soil sit undisturbed for 24 to 48 hours. During this window, the hydrogen peroxide will break down completely into harmless water and oxygen, leaving the soil completely clean, highly oxygenated, and perfectly safe for planting. Hydroponic and aquaponic systems are fantastic ways to grow food indoors or in tight urban spaces all year round. However, these systems present unique challenges. The water circulating through the tubes is warm, highly nutrient-dense, and constantly moving, creating the perfect environment for explosive algae growth, thick slimy biofilm buildup, and root-destroying pathogens like Pythium. Hydroponic reservoir addition. 2 to 3 milliliters of 3% hydrogen peroxide per 1 liter of reservoir water, and add fresh every 3 to 5 days for consistent low-level maintenance. To keep your water crystal clear and your roots healthy, you can introduce hydrogen peroxide directly into your water reservoir. The standard addition rate is 2 to 3 milliliters of 3% hydrogen peroxide for every 1 liter of water in your system, added fresh every 3 to 5 days. This consistent, low-dose application keeps the water highly saturated with dissolved oxygen while preventing algae from anchoring to the walls of your reservoirs and tubing. However, you must remember one critical rule. Never add hydrogen peroxide to a system that relies on beneficial bacteria inoculants, such as mycorrhizal fungi or beneficial nematodes. The peroxide cannot tell the difference between a helpful microbe and a dangerous pathogen. It will destroy both with equal efficiency. Our trees and long-term woody perennials represent a massive investment of time and love. A simple mistake with an annual vegetable might cost you a single season, but a major mistake with a fruit or shade tree can cost you an entire decade. When a tree suffers a wound, whether from violent storm damage, a careless nick from a lawnmower blade, or a heavy pruning cut, its inner living tissue becomes completely exposed to airborne pathogens. Devastating diseases like fire blight, canker, and crown gall always gain a foothold at these raw wound sites. You can treat a fresh tree wound just like a scrape on your own knee. As soon as a branch breaks or a fresh cut is made, spray or wipe the raw, exposed wood with undiluted 3% hydrogen peroxide. This immediate first aid treatment significantly lowers the local pathogen load, killing off opportunistic spores and giving the tree a clean window of protection while it begins its natural healing process to seal the wound. Keep a close eye on the site over the following weeks. If you ever notice fuzzy mold, mushroom-like growths, or dark discoloration spreading outward from the wound, apply another targeted wash of hydrogen peroxide to halt the infection in its tracks. While hydrogen peroxide is an incredible tool for saving plants from severe diseases, we must use it with care and understanding. Because it is a powerful oxidizing agent, a heavy soil drench will affect some of the beneficial microbial life, good bacteria, and helpful fungi that create a thriving soil ecosystem. This is a deliberate trade-off you must weigh. At a mild maintenance dose of 4 tablespoons per liter, the impact on your soil biology is minor and temporary. However, when you use a strong rescue solution To save a plant from severe root rot, you are choosing to sacrifice some of the local microbial community to save the plant's life. Think of it as a crucial medical intervention. Once the plant stabilizes and recovers, you can easily rebuild that rich soil ecosystem. Simply top the soil with a thin layer of organic compost, water with an aerated compost tea,